What's up, everybody? Ricky Jones Fitness here in beautiful Boone, North Carolina. Usually the trees is like lost and stuff like that, but it's not summertime yet. It'll get there. So we have a different type of video today. It's not going to be non-training, non-diet, non-nutrition related, non-vlogging type. We're going to do a flexibility and a mobility video. And like I said, I have a special guest, and this guy is a very close friend of mine. I've known him for about 1.5 years, 2 years, and I'm gonna let him get a little bit to talk about himself. He goes there.
What's up, guys? My name's Hayden. I'm on Instagram at Hayden Rich Fit.
Yeah.
So Ricky and I wanted to get together and make a little video. I'm trying to get into the video making a little bit more because, like Ricky said, I've been doing this whole workout thing and nutrition thing religiously for a couple years now, about the same amount of time as each other. So we got together and composed a list of stretches that we both implement. So we just came together and did one little compilation of stretches. So what we're going to do is we're going to work from the midline away from the body. So we're going to hit stretches that target the spine and things like that, and then we're going to move into lower body and upper body stretches. I've had a lower back problem for a couple of years now as well, so I had to figure out how I can maximize my performance in the gym and also maintain/improve my lower back issues. So what we're going to do is implement some of the PT stretches that I know, as well with some active range of motion stretches too. So let's do it.
Yeah.
We cut all of it.
Yeah, and then like Hayden said, I know quite a bit about stretches and stuff like that, because physical therapy is something that we both plan on pursuing. That's what we're in school for. But Hayden is going to be the one that's going to be more so in control of these exercises. I think he has about 5 or 6 of these conjured up, and I have about 2 or 3. So we're going to not try to make this video as long as previous videos have been, but it'll be good in depth. So you guys can get a lot of different stuff and say, oh, I can relate to this. I can relate to that. This works that. Oh, okay. I've been dealing with this. So we'll get into that right now. So what does this exactly work?
So I started doing these a couple years ago when I had really, really bad back pain. And a lot of times if you have bad back pain, you have tight glutes. If you have tight glutes, your obliques are closed. And a way to open your hips back up is to you'll usually get a few pops out of this in the lower back.
So you're basically just moving from your upper body.
Yeah,
the lower body is stationary.
Yeah, lower body is stationary, knees at an acute angle, I guess.
Yeah.
And then you're just opening up, breathe out so you can. When I first started, I couldn't touch my elbow and my opposite arm to the ground. So a way you know if your hips are open, you have good lumbar mobility, is if you can open up, exhale, and then just lay flat like this. And then you do that about 10 or 15 times.
And then you switch.
And then switch sides. And usually, if you do have lower back problems, it's because your hips are uneven. So you'll have one side a lot more tight, which is my right side.
Yeah, I can definitely feel that happening. I feel that happening too in my upper back.
Yeah. I mean, it's just
definitely a
good all-around, pretty much hitting the whole transverse plane for everything.
Yeah, but I also feel like it's another one of those things where it's hitting kind of like that lumbar thoracic region.
Yeah.
So if somebody's dealing with like spinal back pain, this would be another one of those exercises that can be critical for that.
Yeah, it's really, it's a really efficient way to put kind of a torque load on your spine without using resistance. It's just passive, it's active, but when you get fully open, it's passive and you can just relax, and that's when a lot of the oblique stretching comes into play. This is for like reintroducing the natural curve into your spine. So basically, if you're sitting all the time, as soon as you wake up, things like if you have a desk job, if you're a student, you're in the classroom all day in a chair, this is a way that you can improve your spinal mobility and reintroduce the natural curve of your spine.
Okay.
And so start out in the doggy position, if you want to refer to it like that. So then you increase kyphotic curve.
So you're kind of like doming your back.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's the the camel, cat. And then just do this, 20 times. Breathe out when you reach the top. Breathe in at the bottom.
I feel like this would help somebody that is dealing with like scoliosis or something like this.
Yeah.
This would help a lot.
This helps a lot if you have internally rotated shoulders.
Yeah.
It restores the natural kyphotic curve between your shoulder blades. And then also if you have lower back problems, this is just a great all-around mobility. Do that about 20 times or so.
Yeah.
So the next little combo is actually one that I put together myself. I took 2 exercises that I've been doing for a while and just kind of thought, well, these both kind of increase the lumbar mobility, so I'm just going to put them together and knock them out at once, because one is a passive stretch and one is a very, very active stretch. And what that combo is it's just the Cobra. So you can, at first you have to start out here probably, but as you open up your lower back, you'll be able to move your hands closer. You just hold that for a couple seconds, exhale. And then this is a way to, if you have uneven hips, to improve your gait and help you walk a little more evenly. And it's one of the only ways you can really simulate a reverse load. So literally you're walking in reverse, but because you're laying on your stomach, you're putting gravity against where you're trying to walk. So you keep your legs straight, lift your leg up and hold it, slowly let it down. And then opposite leg up, and one will be likely harder to hold up than the other one.
Yeah, it's my left one.
Slowly down.
Yeah.
That's your unevenness.
Yeah.
And then back to the Cobra. Exhale. And you can repeat that 3 or 4 times, so we'll do it a couple more times. Up. Hold. Slowly down. Opposite leg.
It is definitely that left one. Yeah. I feel like this is kind of like an example of like doing a lying bird dog.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It really is.
For those that don't know, a lying bird dog is basically you raise up this one and you go up like so. So balance for your core as well as your glutes. So I feel like that too is kind of like one of those exercises that is, or stretches, is that it targets kind of like a bird dog, but it targets your glutes.
It's
It
the
opens
whole
up
region.
that gate.
It's not, yeah.
That gate
It
that
takes
exactly
the
you're talking about.
It pretty much incorporates. You're not just hitting a lower back stretch and then hitting a glute stretch. You're really just hitting it all in between at once. So,
That's good.
yeah. All right, so now that we've finished up the midline stretches, we're going to move on to lower body. Like I was saying earlier, if you have lower back problems, bulging disc, uneven hips, SI joint problems, then this is also a really good stretch to help loosen up your hips and increase mobility. So this is an active range of motion stretch, and it's just a simple hip extension. So what you're going to do is you're going to take one leg, put it up on a bench, a couch, anything knee height of your opposite leg, really. You're going to slightly internally rotate the leg that's on the ground. You're going to contract your glute and just bring your hip forward. So it's really, if you want to think about it like a one-legged air hump, then that's really the best way to describe it. So I have really tight hip flexors, so you'll see how it opens up with just a little bit of doing this.
This actually is tight for my right hip flexor because actually I hurt my hip flexor. And as if some people know, my right hip flexor has been always the struggle one. So me doing this is actually like helpful for me and my hip flexor. Hayden showed me this a while ago, so this is kind of beneficial. But this is
Just
really
do that,
helpful.
10, 15 times a side.
And then we switch off.
Yeah, and then we switch to the opposite leg.
Yeah. So if I was to do the other leg, My other leg
That
is
one
not.
should be looser.
My other leg is going to be looser because
Yeah.
I don't have no problems with my left side. So when I come in, so basically you're just thrusting in from this side. So when you come in, you're going to thrust in. This leg is stationary. You're just going to thrust in with this side, keeping this leg maybe about 30 degrees inwards, and then just thrusting.
You're going for the same sort of chain, kinetic chain, as you would if you were doing a glute bridge or something like that. All right, so this next one, this is for tight inner thighs. You either have, your hips are going to be either too loose or they're going to be too tight, which pulling everything in. That's why I have a really supinated foot, or pronated foot, I mean, because I have tight inner thighs and just pulling my knees in, hips are going out. So we want to bring everything back out, stabilize lumbar spine. So this is called the third world squat, and I mean it's called a couple different things. Excuse me. So you just come down slow. You're pushing your legs out, but you're gonna reach a point where all your weight is gonna be primarily on your toes. And if you want to be balanced, you want to flex your glutes, bring your legs out, and transfer your weight to your heels.
Mm-hmm.
And this keeps your glutes firing the whole time. This isn't just a static hold. This is to strengthen your glutes as well. And you can hold this. We're only gonna hold it for a little bit, but the longer you can hold this, the better. And then when they get tired, you can press out. And then back to your heels. And then you can take it a step further. I'll just go ahead and throw one of the other moves in there because it's really similar. Another inner thigh stretch. You have your legs perpendicular to each other, so coming over, pressing out. I call these inside outs. I know they're also called a couple other things.
Yeah.
And you don't want it to just be point A to point B. You want to just have a one fluid motion. So really, like we were contracting our glutes, you want to keep your inner thigh contracted. Keep your weight on your heel. And when you feel like you have to let up, that's when you push back up. So really it's just a pump the whole time on your inner thigh. So that's getting stronger and also increasing mobility of your hips. And you can just switch sides.
I feel like this too is like helpful for a lot of people that squat. I don't know how many times I've actually seen it, is that I'll see people performing squats, sometimes even myself when I get on heavy weight, and you know, my adductors kind of give in, which is the inner thigh. And there's how many times that we see this every single time is people will squat down and we'll see this happen. And it's from weak adductors, or you just need to stretch it out a little bit more. So I feel like this would be beneficial for people like that as well.
All right, so this is another little chain I put together. Originally, it was 3 movements. So it was a fire hydrant, hold for 5 seconds, out, hold for 5 seconds, internally rotate, and you can even bird dog, but internally rotate, hold for 5 seconds. What I did is I just put them all together. So it's just one continuous reach with your leg, and it hurts pretty damn bad. So we're gonna do that for a few sets each leg. And the whole movement itself should take about 10 seconds. Internally rotate.
That's definitely a lot of glute medius action.
Yeah.
There's a muscle near the adductors called the gracilis, and I feel like this is a great way to activate that too as well. So a lot of core action too.
On the opposite side. Yeah, this is definitely no passive range of motion at all. This is strictly for strengthening and increasing range of motion.
no
And you
joke.
can do that as many times as you'd like. Obviously, the more you do it, the stronger you're gonna get. So.
Wow, that's no joke. Okay, cool. So with this exercise, this is going to be targeting the #1 issue that I always see in squats. And anybody knows me, leg day is like the most quintessential. So, you know, we want to make sure that we're completely right. Form matters, and we need to make sure that our hips are right because hips do not lie. So I got like a ghetto version of a like
a black bar.
A black bar. Usually I use a black weighted bar, or I usually use like one of those wooden sticks. So with this is going to be kind of weird. So I'm just going to give a demonstration at first, and then I'll let you guys know the synopsis of each. So basically, I start at the top. I make sure that my ankles are turned, and I'm going to bend at the knees. So when I bend at the knees, this is going to expose the problems that I'm dealing with squats in general. So when I come down, I'm going to open up with my adductors. So I come out, I'm going to squat down, and I'm going to come up. This is going to expose if you have any problems, and I'll explain the problem in doing so. So you want to kind of open up your adductors even more, like go wide, kind of like hide away from it. So just to explain each point, you start at the top. This is totality. This is work your anterior chain as well as your posterior chain. So when you bring up top, when you're coming down, you're working off of your rotator cuff. So you're depending off your rotator right there. When you come down, when you have your ankles like so, typically when people squat, they come down like this. They're not breaking off. This is to discover if you have a problem with hip mobility. So if you have your ankles to the side, like so, and you come down and you're hiding away, kind of spreading away, that's going to determine if you have problems with your hip flexors, which is right here. Also, in the back, a lot of people when they squat, they say they have problems with the lower back. When you determine this, when you come out, you're seeing if your lower back is having an issue too when you squat. So, see, my adductor gave out. This weak one. When you come out, appreciate it. When you come out, your erector spinae muscles, these two spinae muscles right here, they're not meant to really go like this. They're meant to go down like this when you squat. But what we're doing is we're spreading them out to make sure that they're conforming right. So typically when you squat like this, you're in a neutral position up. But in doing so, squat, my erector muscles are going like this because they look like this, and they're going like this. So it's determining problems with your lower back too as well. It's a totality exercise, or I shouldn't say exercise, but a stretch. But this is probably my favorite thing to do before squats, to kind of wake up my body and see how I need to maneuver something. Should I go heavy today or should I go light? Determines a lot. So you guys can incorporate that too as well. Okay, so there go that damn clapping again. Yeah. Hopefully we was able to cover a lot of stretches and mobility exercises for a lot of people that deal with a lot of injuries, specifically lower back. For things that are upper body, hopefully we can make another video then, and we can just spend time, because this was predominantly
there's endless for
lower.
both, so
It's
there's
endless.
definitely plenty more to cover.
Yeah, so hopefully we was able to answer a lot of questions and do a lot of stretches and cover a lot of stuff. Hayden was really, I had one stretch, and that was the one with this ghetto lat pull down bar, and Hayden just controlled everything else out. So big props to him for doing so. And
Thank you.
make sure you guys follow him on Instagram, Hayden Rich Fit.
Yep.
Hayden Rich RICH Fit. Hopefully you guys can spell. And follow me on Instagram at Riki Jones Fitness, RIKIJONES FITNESS. Wow.
Riki Jones Finesse.
Finesse, yeah, Riki Jones Finesse. And once again, I appreciate the view, I appreciate the love, and look out for more videos to come.